Most men are dead by 55. Not buried, but dead. Walking, breathing, managing their own decline. You can see it in the way they move. Slow, hesitant, careful. The way they've outsourced their authority to doctors, wives, younger men. The way they talk about what they used to do. Their body stopped obeying them years ago. So they made peace with weakness. Called it getting older. Called it being realistic. It's not. It's surrender. But if you've reached 55 and can still execute 7 specific disciplines 90% of men abandon before 50, you're not aging. You're weaponizing time. Time doesn't weaken you. It audits you. By 55, every shortcut you took is visible. Every compromise. Every soft choice you made in private is now public. Your body is the receipts. Your mind is the ledger. Your presence, or the hollow space where it used to be, is the verdict. The world has already priced in whether you're a man worth respecting or managing. You will never close the deal, command the room, or build the empire if you cannot first command yourself. Reactivity is expensive. Weakness is taxed. And by 55, the bill comes due. These 7 capacities separate the sovereign from the managed, the king from the servant, the hunter from the cattle. Most men fail 3 or more. They don't even know it. They think they're doing fine. They point to their career, their house, their title. Meanwhile, their body is collapsing. Their mind is dulling. Their decisions are slow. Their presence is gone. You're about to find out which one you are. Sovereign or managed. The test starts now. But first, a question. Where are you watching this from? We are scattered. Different cities. Different time zones. Different battles. But we are not alone. Drop your location in the comments. Not your address, your outpost. From the silence of the Alps. From the chaos of Manhattan. From the discipline of Tokyo at 4 a.m. The algorithm buries content like this. It prefers distraction, comfort, the scrollable void. But if enough of us mark our place, the machine notices. Signal your presence. Let the scattered minds find each other. We are few, but we are everywhere. Marcus Aurelius was 57 years old when he chose discipline over comfort for the last time. He was sick, freezing on the Danube frontier. The most powerful man on earth. Emperor of Rome. Controller of 70 million people and the GDP of the known world. His generals told him to return to the palace. His doctors begged him. He had every excuse: age, illness, decades of service. No one would question his retreat to heated baths, soft beds, warm wine. No one would blame him. He rose at dawn anyway. It was 178 AD. The wind tore through the Roman encampment like a blade. His joints screamed. The cold had settled into his bones, a guest that refused to leave. His body was a catalogue of campaigns. Stiff shoulders. Cracked spine. Lungs scarred from the plague that killed millions. Outside his tent, young officers laughed by the fire. Inside, the candle flickered against canvas walls. A voice whispered, perhaps his own, perhaps something darker. You are emperor. You have earned rest. Let younger men freeze. You have given enough. The temptation wrapped around him like the wool blankets he refused to add to his cot. He could return to Rome, to comfort, to the end of pain. But Marcus understood something most men never learn. The body is the first territory you govern. Lose it, and you've lost everything downstream. He trained in the frozen dark while men half his age slept. Not for aesthetics, not for health, for dominion. A man who cannot govern his own flesh will never govern an empire. This was not philosophy. This was infrastructure maintenance. His body was state property. Letting it decay was embezzlement of the highest order. A young legionary stopped mid-stride that morning and stared. Here was the most powerful man in the world, rising before his soldiers, training in the frozen dark while younger men still slept. Marcus noticed him but said nothing. He continued his movements. Steady. Deliberate. Finally, he paused and spoke, not to the soldier, but to himself. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I am rising to do the work of a human being. The soldier never forgot that morning. Sovereignty begins with the 6 inches between your ears and the body you occupy. Everything else, wealth, influence, legacy, is downstream. By 55, you're either appreciating or depreciating. The market has already decided. By 55, most men have achieved something. Money, status, a title on the door. Maybe they built a business, climbed the ladder, accumulated assets. But somewhere along the way, they outsourced command. They stopped governing themselves. And the collapse happened so slowly they didn't notice until it was already over. Their body stopped obeying, so they blamed age. Blamed genetics. Blamed metabolism. Translation: hostile takeover. Entropy took the board seat you vacated. Their mind dulled, so they scroll. Delegate thinking. Let others frame reality for them. Translation: you're renting someone else's operating system. You're no longer running your own code. Their decisions became slow, hesitant, committee-based. Let me think about it. I'll get back to you. What do you think I should do? Translation: leadership collapse. And the market notices. Your sons notice. Your competitors profit from it. Indecision is not neutral. Indecision is a short position on your own authority. Every day you wait, you lose value. By 55, if you've lost these 7 capacities, you haven't just aged. You've defaulted. And here's what that looks like. The managed man at 55, he outsources his health to doctors, his meals to apps, his decisions to committees or his wife. His body is a liability he's negotiating with. My back won't let me. My knees can't handle that anymore. I'm too old for this. His network is decaying. The calls get fewer. The invitations stop. His relevance is negotiable. He talks about what he used to do, what he used to lift, who he used to be. He has managed decline in a suit. He doesn't see it. He thinks he's doing fine. But watch him walk into a room. There's no gravity, no presence. He's already apologizing for existing before he opens his mouth. The world has quietly moved him from the threat category to the managed category. And it happened so gradually he never felt the demotion. The sovereign man at 55, he treats his body like critical infrastructure. Non-negotiable maintenance. Active management. Zero excuses. His body still obeys because he never stopped commanding it. His mind is a proprietary weapon system built over 30 years. Pattern recognition most men will never access. He reads. He writes. He solves problems younger men don't even see yet. He moves through rooms differently. Not because of money. Not because of status. Because of presence. The energy of a man who has governed himself for decades and refuses to stop. You feel it when he enters. A shift in atmospheric pressure. Younger men step aside without knowing why. His decisions are faster and more accurate than men half his age. Because he's built a decision-making architecture through repetition and consequence. He doesn't need consensus. He doesn't need permission. He decides. He moves. The world adjusts. He doesn't fear aging. He compounds it. Experience plus discipline plus sovereignty equals something younger men with all their energy can never touch. Strategic dominance. And it only exists at this age if you've built correctly. By 55, the audit is complete. The results are visible in your body, your mind, your presence, your authority. You're either sovereign or you're managed. And if you're managed, you already know it. You feel it every morning when you look in the mirror. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Here's what you need to understand. The algorithm wants to bury this. It's designed to feed you reaction videos, dopamine loops, and content that keeps you scrolling, not thinking. Videos like this? They are friction. They demand attention, discipline, time. The system punishes that. But you have a weapon. If you believe what you've heard so far deserves to survive, if you think one man watching this needs to see it, then mark it now. Press the like button. Not as a compliment. As a signal. You're telling the machine, no. This has value. Amplify this, not the noise. And if you know a man who's slipping, who's managing his own decline and doesn't see it yet, send this to him. Not as an insult. As a grenade. You're not sharing a video. You're forcing a confrontation with the mirror. The algorithm is the enemy of depth. Engagement is your vote for what survives. Choose now. 7 capacities. 7 non-negotiables. Pass 6 or 7, you're in the executive minority. Fail 3 or more, you're in managed decline. This is not a test. This is a diagnostic. Law 1, your body obeys. You've lost at 55. If your body doesn't respond to your command, you've already surrendered the only territory that was ever truly yours. Your body is not aesthetic anymore. It's operational integrity. The CEO who lets his infrastructure rot gets fired. So do you buy time, buy respect, buy relevance? The man at 55 who still moves weight, controls his breath, commands his posture, is signaling one thing. I have not abdicated. He's not training for the mirror. He's training for dominion. Over pain. Over entropy. Over the voice that whispers you've done enough. Meanwhile, the man who doesn't have time to train is broadcasting to the world, I am not a serious person. The world hears that as exploitable. Your body is a Patek Philippe. Maintain it or watch it become worthless. At 55, your strength is not vanity. It's psychological armor. It's the foundation of every other capacity on this list. If you can still do this, if your body still obeys your will, you are not average. You are proof that masculinity doesn't expire. It deepens. Law 2, your mind is a weapon. Its rust. A dull mind at 55 is a confession. I stopped building the only asset that appreciates with age. Most men at 55 coast on pattern recognition from 2005. That's not experience. That's legacy software. Outdated. Vulnerable. Obsolete. The dangerous man at 55 is still learning. Still reading. Still solving new problems. Still feeding his brain instead of numbing it. He has the judgment of age and the appetite of youth. That combination is lethal. Young men have energy. They can work longer. Move faster. Recover quicker. But older men have strategy. And strategy always wins. But only if you're still sharpening the blade. Your mind is a hedge fund. You either deploy new capital, new frameworks, new knowledge, new models, or you watch it stagnate and die. By 55, you should be mentally dangerous. Not because you know more facts. Because you see patterns younger men are blind to. You've lived the consequences they're still theorizing about. A sharp mind makes you more powerful than a younger man with just physical strength. Curiosity is youth. The moment you stop being curious, your mind begins to wrinkle. Men over 60 who remain razor sharp don't just stay informed. They stay dangerous. Law 3, balance is power made visible. A man who cannot stand firm physically will collapse everywhere else. Balance is not yoga. It's a lifetime audit made visible in your posture. Most men think balance is a reflex. A minor physical skill. Something you either have or don't. The truth is deeper. Balance is the physical expression of a disciplined life. Every choice you made for 30 years, to train or skip, to stand firm or fold, to stay upright under pressure or collapse, it's all encoded in how you move. The man at 55 who stands firm has spent decades refusing to fall. Not just physically. Morally. Mentally. Emotionally. Spiritually. Watch how a man walks into a room. You're watching 3 decades of choices. Instability in the body is instability everywhere else. Always. Balance is the foundation of masculine power. No foundation, no empire. Discipline doesn't care about your age. Only excuses do. The man who refuses to fall, literally and metaphorically, commands a kind of gravity that younger men can't fake. He doesn't shift. He doesn't fidget. He doesn't collapse under pressure. That's not genetics. That's decades of choosing not to fall. Law 4, laughter is proof you're unbroken. A man who can still laugh at 55 is a man life tried to break and failed. Most men turn bitter by 50. They confuse cynicism for wisdom. Hardness for strength. They stop laughing because they stopped winning internally. The joy died somewhere between 45 and 50. They don't even remember when. Now they're stone. Cold. Resentful. Not stoic, dead. Real stoicism is not stone-faced endurance. It's absorbing chaos without letting it restructure your soul. Marcus didn't write about eliminating emotion. He wrote about not being controlled by it. Laughter at 55 is not immaturity. It's dominance. It's proof you're still emotionally solvent after decades of withdrawals. By the time a man reaches 60, he's buried dreams, lost friends, ended relationships, carried weight the world never thanked him for. Most men let that kill the light inside. But the man who can still laugh, truly laugh, not the bitter smirk of the defeated, he's announcing something. You tried to break me. You failed. Laughter is resilience, emotional endurance, the ability to feel lightness after a lifetime of heaviness. That is rare. That is strength. A man who is physically alive at 60 but emotionally dead by 45 is a corpse in expensive clothes. But the warrior who still laughs? He's unbreakable. Law 5. Brotherhood is your war counsel. A man without brotherhood at 55 is a man without redundancy, and the market punishes single points of failure. Most men's networks die by 55. The calls get fewer. The group chats go quiet. The invitations stop. They mistake contacts for counsel. They have 1,000 LinkedIn connections and 0 men who will tell them the truth. You don't need a crowd at 55. You need a war council. Men who've built something, bled for something. Men who refuse to lie to you when you're wrong and will stand with you when the world turns. Brotherhood is not just company. It's survival. Loneliness at 55 is not sad. It's structural failure. You are a single point of failure. And every system designed that way eventually collapses. What destroys a man at this age is not loss, not failure, not even death. It's meaninglessness. And meaninglessness grows fastest in isolation. Brotherhood is the last fortress of a man's spirit. It's not built in a year. It's a cathedral built over decades. Shared wars, shared losses, shared silence that doesn't need to be filled. A man over 60 who still has brotherhood is unbreakable. A man without it ages twice as fast. Physically, mentally, emotionally. Brotherhood is distributed sovereignty. Lose it and you're governing alone in hostile territory. A man with brotherhood is never truly old. A man without it is never truly young. Law 6. Sovereignty is the only freedom at 55. If you cannot take care of yourself, you are not a man, you are managed. Sovereignty means one thing: I can be alone without being lonely. I can cook, maintain, govern, heal without outsourcing my existence. The moment you need someone else to function, you've handed them controlling shares. You are no longer self-clearing. Most men at 55 have become dependent. They can't cook a real meal, can't manage their own health, can't be alone for 48 hours without unraveling. They've outsourced their sovereignty to convenience, comfort, and other people's labor. And they call it efficiency. It's not. It's abdication. Self-reliance at 55 is not normal. It's rare. And rare is valuable. Your home is your kingdom. A king keeps his kingdom in order. Not because he has to. Because he can. Optionality is freedom. The sovereign man doesn't need a staff, a wife, or a service to keep him alive. He chooses partnership not from desperation, but from position of strength. Cooking is not survival. It's mastery. Your health is not a burden. It's a responsibility. Solitude is not loneliness. It's the art of being alone without being lonely. Financial sovereignty at 55 is not about wealth. It's about stability. Stability is strength. A man who can still take care of himself at 60 is a man who cannot be controlled. That is true masculine freedom. That is sovereignty. Law 7. Decisiveness is your final authority. Indecision is death in slow motion, and by 55, you should be deciding faster than men half your age. Most men over 55 lose their decisiveness. They second guess. They consult. They wait for permission that never comes. Their identity collapses into 3 words, I don't know. And the world stops respecting them. By 55, you've seen every pattern twice. You've lived the consequences younger men are still guessing about. You should be making faster, sharper calls than analysts drowning in data. Young men need information. You need clarity. And you've earned it through 30 years of decisions, mistakes, and consequences. The man who still decides quickly, calmly, with zero permission seeking, is trading on insider information. His own lived experience. Decisiveness is not ego. It's identity. A king decides because he knows who he is. He doesn't poll the room. He doesn't wait for consensus. He moves, and the world adjusts. Indecision is just fear wearing the mask of logic. Decisiveness is courage disguised as calm. A man doesn't age when his hair turns gray. He ages when he stops choosing. Decisiveness creates dignity. And dignity commands respect. By 55, decisiveness is the last expression of masculine authority. The final proof you still govern yourself. 2 men stand at 55. One has passed the diagnostic. The other failed years ago and didn't notice. The difference between them was never talent. Never luck. It was compounded daily choices. And you're making one right now. 2 men stand at 55. One is sovereign. Physically operational. Mentally sharp. Emotionally unbroken. Financially stable. Surrounded by men who matter. Self-reliant. Decisive. He moves through the world as a closed system. Self-governing. Self-clearing. Unbreakable. The other is managed. His body negotiated with doctors. His mind on autopilot. His emotions bitter. His money fragile. His friends gone. He cannot be alone. He cannot decide. He is a liability to himself. The difference between these 2 men is not genetics. Not luck. Not circumstance. It's compounded daily choices. And you're making one right now. This moment. You can close this video and return to comfort. To excuses. To the slow managed decline you've been calling realistic. Or you can choose differently. Strength at 55 is not about surviving. It's about market dominance in the only market that matters, the sovereignty of your own life. Age does not weaken a disciplined man. It sharpens him. It steels him. It crowns him. We are building something here. Not a channel. A fortress. A place where discipline, sovereignty, and truth are non-negotiable. If you have watched this far and still choose not to subscribe, that is your right. A Stoic does not beg, but a Stoic values honesty above all. So I ask you this, leave a comment below and tell me exactly why you will not join us. What did I get wrong? What standard did this fail to meet? What truth did I miss? I seek improvement, not validation. But if you cannot find a reason to leave, if this resonated, if you recognize yourself in the sovereign man or see the managed man you refuse to become, then you have already chosen. Subscribe. Close the gate behind you. This is not entertainment. This is a forge for men who govern themselves. Write one word in the comments, sovereign or managed. Don't explain. Don't justify. Just declare. That word will audit you and you'll know whether you're lying. Stay sharp. Stay sovereign. Stay unbroken.